Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could play an old song called Love Me Tender by Elvis Presley. And it's going to start on a D major chord. And the way you play D major, first finger is going to go to the G on the second fret, second finger on the high E on the second fret, and the third finger is going to go to the B string on the third fret. And if you strum just the D, G, B, and E, like just the top four strings, that'll get you your clear sound with that, and that sounds really, really happy. And our verses are going to start on the D major, and then we're going to be going to an E major. And when we play E major, first finger is going to go G string on the first fret, second finger on the A on the second fret, third finger on the D on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that makes it E major, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from E major, we're going to be going to an A major chord. And the way you play A major, first finger is going to go to the D on the first or second fret, second finger is going to go G on the second fret, and the third finger is going to go to the B on the second fret. So it's a big party on the second fret. Everybody's on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that makes it A major. It sounds really, really happy. And then we're going to be going back to D major. And then we're going to kind of start that over again. D major, E major, A major, D major. But then from there, then we kind of just start over again. We're going to talk about an easy way to do this, and we're going to talk about what Elvis actually does. But from there, we're going to do D major, and then we're going to go to a B minor. And the way you play B minor, first finger is going to go across the entire second fret. Second finger is going to go to the B string on the third fret. Third finger is going to go to the D on the fourth fret, and the pinky is going to go underneath that on the G on the fourth fret. And if you strum all those together, that makes a B minor chord, and that sounds really, really sad. And if you're just starting out and bar chords are kind of difficult, there's a good alternate for that, or another way to play that, where you could take the first finger and just play the high E on the second fret, second finger on the B on the third fret, and third finger on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum just the top three strings, that's a little B minor chord. And then another way you could play it is you could do first finger on the high E second, second finger on the B string third finger on the D string on the fourth fret, and the pinky underneath that on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum the top four strings with that, that's another way you can play B minor. But it's really going to sound really, really good if you can kind of get that bar chord down, like for the second fret for the B minor. And then from B minor, we're going to be going to a G major chord. And the way you play G major, first finger is going to go to the A string on the second fret, second finger is going to go low E on the third fret, and the third finger is going to go to the high E on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that makes a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from G major, we're going to be going back to D major, and then we're going to end up doing the first part of the verse again. So from the very, very beginning, you've got kind of a D major for an intro, and then the verses start on the D major, E major, A major, D major, D major, E major, A major, D major, D major, B minor, G major, D major, D major, E major, A major, D major. And then we would kind of be repeating that. Now through the song, like one thing that I like to do with a song like this to make it a little bit more interesting is add a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns is down, down, up, down, up, which could work for this song. So if you just took the D and just did that a lot, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up. So then we tried that through our progression. Then we have our D, down, up, E major, down, down, up, down, up, A major, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, D major, down, down, up, down, up, E major, down, 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 up, A major, down, 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 up, D major, down, 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 up, D, down, 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 up, B minor, down, 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 G major, down, 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 D, down, 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 D, down, 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 B major, down, 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 A major, down, down. Now what Elvis actually does through this song though is he kind of uses almost a variation on a country bass line, where on the D chord what he's doing is kind of playing the D string for the root of the chord and kind of doing a down strum over the chord, and then he's doing what's called the fifth of the D chord, which is the A string, and then kind of doing a down on the chord. So on the D chord you're kind of going D string, down, A string, down, D string, down, A string, down. And what we're doing is we're playing the root and then doing a strum and then the fifth of the chord and doing a strum. So when you go to the E major chord, the fifth of a E major chord is E, F, G, A, B, which is actually the note you're playing on the A string. So for the low E, or for the E majors, you could do low E string for the bass, and then do a down, and then do the A string for a bass, and then down. So we got low E, down, A string, down, low E, down, A string, down. And then on the A major chord, the A is the root, and A, B, C, D, E is the fifth. So you could do the A string and do it down, and then the E string and do it down. A string, down, low E string, down, A string, down, low E string, down for all your A chords. And then when we get to the B minor chord, if you're doing the bar chord, your root is on the A string, and then the low E string is the fifth, because we have a B note to an F sharp note. So we got A string, down, low E string, down, A string, down, low E string, down. And then when you get to your G major chord, if you did the low E string, that's your lowest G note, and then the fifth for that, G, A, B, C, D is a D note. So you're looking for the D string for that one. So you got low E and then a down, and then the D string and then a down. So on the G you got low E, down, D string, down, low E, down, D string, down. So we tried that through our whole progression with kind of that feel. You'd have the D major with the D string, A string, down, and then the E major with the low E down, and then the A string, down, and then the A major with the A string, down, low E string, down, and then back to the D with the D string, down, A string, down, and another D, D string, down, A string, down, then the E major with the low E down, and then the A string, down, and then the A major with the A note, or A string down, and the low E down, and then the D with the D string, down, and A string, down, and then we got the D major again, so D string, down, A string, down, but then we do the B minor, and then we're doing the A string, down, low E string, down, and then we're doing the G with the low E, down, D string, down, and then the D with the D string, down, A string, down, and then we do another D with the D string, down, A string, down, and then E major with the low E down, A string, down, and then the A major with the A string, down, and the low E down, and then the D string, or D major with D string, and then A string. So that sounds a little bit more like the recording. Now one thing that Elvis does that's very, very, very cool is he actually kind of, on the third time through where we're doing the B minor and the G, he actually uses some other substitutes for that. So what he actually does on that part is he's doing the D major with the D string bass, but then if you take your pinky you could go to the A string on the 4th fret and then do a C sharp in the bass. So this would be called a D major / C sharp chord. So you can kind of play the A string 4th for your bass on that and then do your down. And then he does the B minor chord with the A string bass, but then he does an open A for the bass, so you could kind of lift the bar just a little bit, so it's holding down just the high E to get an open A, and you're down. So that kind of gets you a cool little moving bass line on that part, where you've got D major with the D bass, down, and then D / C sharp with the A bass, down, and then B minor with the A bass, down, and then B minor / A, down, and then he does the G major with the low E bass, and then the down. But then Elvis is so cool. He goes to a G minor chord and kind of changes that from happy to sad. And the way you play G minor is a bar on the 3rd fret across the entire fret, and then 3rd finger is going to go to the A string on the 5th fret, pinky on the D string on the 5th fret, and your bass note's still the same, so it's still going to be the low E bass and then a down. So that's a little weird there, where you got G major with a low E bass, down, and then G minor with a low E bass, down, and And then he goes back to the D major with kind of back to our root down, fifth down. So then D string, down, A string, down. So just to try that all the way through that third part of the progression, because that's kind of weird. So you got D major with a bass on the D, and then D slash C sharp with the A bass, down, and then B minor with the A bass, down, and then B minor slash A with the A bass, down, and then G major with the low E bass, down, and then G minor with the low E bass, down, and then D major with the D bass, down, A bass, down. And then we're kind of going back to our first progression. So just to try the whole song with those new things, those variations on it added, you'd have D major with the D bass, down, A bass, down, E major with the low E bass, down, A bass, down, A major with the A bass, down, low E bass, down, D major with the D bass, down, A bass, down. We kind of start that over. D major with the D bass, down, A major with the, or A bass, down, E major with the low E bass, down, A string bass, down, A major with the A bass, down, low E bass, down, and then D major with the D bass, down, A bass, down, and then we got our D major with the D bass, down, and then D slash C sharp with the A bass, down, and then B minor with the A bass, down, B minor slash A with the A bass, down, and then G major with the low E bass, down, G minor with the low E bass, down, and then D major with the D bass, down, A major with the A bass, or D with the A bass, and then D with the D bass, down, A string bass, down, E major with the low E bass, down, A string bass, down, and then A major with the A bass, down, low E bass, down, and then D major with the D bass, down, A bass, down. And then at the very end, there's this really, really cool little lead part that kind of comes in at the very, very end, where you play second fret on the G string, and then go to the high E on the fifth fret, and then we kind of play second, or we do the fifth again, and then we go to second fret on the high E, and there's kind of a lot of vibrato in that, where you do like a lot of little teeny bends, or you can kind of shake the note, and that's called vibrato. So you got 2 on the G, 5 on the high E, 5, 2 on the high E with vibrato. At the very, very end. So that's the basics of how you could play Love Me Tender just like Elvis Presley. So good luck!